So the Insta360 ONER S just came out, and I don't have one. What I do have is the original ONER. I've reached out to Insta360 on multiple occasions to be like, hey, we're both based in Shenzhen, you want to sponsor a video? And I don't think they're interested because of the size of my channel, but I'm just gonna make the video anyway. But I guess since this video is not sponsored, kind of makes the content a bit more meaningful considering they have no say in anything that I say.
So before I bought this camera, of course I watched dozens of YouTube reviews and was never able to come across the use case that I was looking for. It seems like everyone who buys this camera is into extreme sports, and everyone who reviews this camera is into showing off the camera in situations that it's not really good for. The best example I could find of this comes from this new video from iJustine, in which she says,
I can basically go out and shoot an entire feature film, get really cool creative shots right here, send it to my phone, edit them on the fly, and have some really cool content to post.
Okay, so first of all, let me break that down. She starts with, shoot an entire feature film, and then ends with, and have some really cool content to post. Those don't sound related in any way. I would never call a feature film some really cool content. So she gets into the specs and all the unboxing, and that part's all fine. But then she gets into bashing the original one. She's like, I don't even know if I can, and then proceeds to be unable to get it out.
I can't even open it. That's
really?
How much I don't like it.
Stick it in, close the cage, done. There's no doubt the new one is better. I would like to be able to open it from the side and just slide it out. Good design. But that doesn't mean that this one is bad. It feels really secure. It's really easy to get it out of here. Like, one-handed operation there. Exaggeration for the sake of a sponsorship video.
She then goes to show off all the gimmicky features of the camera. You know, the flash dash, the stop motion, you know. While these gimmicky features are cool, in my opinion, that's not the best reason to get one of these cameras. Seriously, how many times are you gonna film yourself doing this before you go, okay, I did it once? But here's where I feel like this review is too sponsored. Number one is her fault. She puts no effort into protecting the lens. You don't want these things getting scratched. And if you set it down on a table, you're setting it down on the lens. And she seems to have no problem with that. Free product that she's probably not gonna use again.
Come on, anyone who actually owns this camera is gonna be putting on this protector like all the time.
And number two, remember she started the video saying,
I can basically go out and shoot an entire feature film.
And then this shot. I mean, come on. You're not shooting a feature film with this camera. No one expects you to do that. It doesn't even feel like she's the type of person to ever use this type of camera, considering her content. So it just makes it feel like she's talking up the camera for the sake of the sponsorship, but only really gets the basics, you know, those gimmicky features, because it's not a camera she actually uses.
Now let me get one thing straight. I like iJustine's videos. I've been subscribed to her ever since the video where she wrecked the Linus Tech Tips editor with the Final Cut Pro versus Adobe Premiere. Beast.
But the issue just seems to be that Insta360 is reaching out to big tech reviewers to review their cameras. And that's totally the wrong type of person because using their cameras takes experience using their cameras. They're not standard cameras. For somebody who knows how to use a camera, a Canon camera, a Nikon camera, an iPhone camera, they're all cameras. The concepts of filmmaking transfer from camera to camera, even if the controls change. An Insta360 camera is nothing like a normal camera. So if you don't know what you're doing and you make yourself a review of these cameras, it's gonna look sponsored. It's clear that Insta360 on one side is marketing their cameras as this fun tool to make these gimmicky effects, but they're completely missing out on the other side of what it's for. The gimmicks that these cameras offer are like the sprinkles on the camera cake. It's like if you gave someone a MacBook Pro and gave them iMovie. They could make some basic stuff, it's really not complicated, but then you completely fail to tell them that they can install Final Cut Pro and do a lot more. It's like you're completely missing out on one of the best use cases.
So with that, let me do my review on why I think this camera is amazing.
the core function that I see in these cameras is that they allow you to shoot everything in a situation when you will not have the option to reshoot it. Here is a good example of a good use case of this camera. Say you're going somewhere, like a coffee expo, or you're house hunting, and you want to show off the space, but you're just walking through and you don't have the time to go to individual booths and shoot things. Or maybe you're walking through a house and you're thinking, this is a great, nice new house. And then you get home and someone goes, did you check for Now you'll never run into that situation of like, oh, I wish I had turned the camera to the left. These cameras record everything. If you're gathering footage for something and you have one chance to shoot it, and you don't know that you're gonna end up wanting to talk to someone else about something that happened there, or maybe something you saw but you didn't actually go over there to record it, this camera is a lifesaver. It's a B-roll beast. Sometimes it feels surreal when you go back and you look at a simple shot where you were specifically aiming to shoot at one thing, and you realize how much you captured by accident. I shoot my main narrative or whatever's most important with my dedicated standard camera. Then I keep the 360 running to catch anything that I might miss and want to use later. Sometimes I'll start recording and then end up in a conversation, and then later I go back and go, oh man, I'm basically standing here re-watching the conversation as a person in the room. The onboard audio is like secondary audio. It's either to synchronize my primary audio or act as a backup when I suddenly realize that my main camera wasn't recording and I missed the shot. Sometimes the shots end up feeling like you had a cameraman just following behind you. Have you ever been in a situation where you shot something but your clip is like 12 seconds long, and then you go back and realize you don't have any other clips of that same thing, but you're talking about it in your video for like 25 seconds? What do? You can stretch out that 12-second clip by slowing it down, but then it looks terrible. With a 12-second 360 shot, you can reframe it and use the same shot in so many different ways, it's basically infinity B-roll. You can make a generally boring shot seem full of movement and interest. It's become completely invaluable to my workflow. And one of the best parts about it, it's discreet. When I was shooting my video about the Chinese high-speed trains, this guy got super mad at me when I was just trying to get B-roll of the train. With this camera, you can turn off the recording lights, turn off the screen, and then just stand there with the camera sideways, and it looks like you're holding an off camera. Nobody thinks twice about it. Then you can reframe it however you want and get awesome B-roll. The camera also has amazing anti-flicker settings built in that often work way better than my iPhone. And then there's the Leica lens. I've used this one on various occasions to record time lapses over a long period of time. Is this the only camera that can record quality time lapses? Of course not. Do you want to leave your phone on a tripod shooting something overnight? Of course not. The software that this camera comes with can be as simple or as advanced as you want it to be. If you import videos onto a tablet, for example, you can play with them, export fun, gimmicky videos, send them to people, post it immediately, whatever you want. But if you plan to use that footage as part of a project later, the computer version has all the controls you need. But on top of all of this, it also has all those gimmicky features that you can use to just sprinkle into your videos sometimes and make it more visually pleasing. This camera can do so much, and yet it feels like people are either just boarding or walking around a city. And there's so much more to it. At this point, when I go out to film, I always have the 360 there just in case. It's like the safety backup camera. You can't miss your shot with it.
So what's my point? Insta360. If you keep giving your cameras to someone like iJustine, someone who doesn't use your cameras on a regular basis, you're gonna keep getting the iMovie review. If you want the full review, you need to start giving your cameras to someone who has experience using your cameras. But if you're a consumer and your question is, so should I get the new one or just stick with the old one? Then the answer depends on what kind of user you are. If you're the type of person who really just wants to post some cool content, definitely just go for the old one. It's still a fantastic camera, and all the problems that iJustine says are wrong with it, I don't see as an issue. But if you're someone who really plans on using the camera to its fullest potential, then I would recommend getting the new one. just for the higher resolution. But either way, no matter which one you get, if you take the time to learn how to use the camera properly, no matter which one you get, you won't regret it. And Insta360, welcome.